Right guys, our next fasting challenge starts on Monday, this Monday coming. So it's also the start of the 12-week summer challenge. Right, what's going to happen in the summer challenge is at the start of each month, the month kicks off with the fasting challenge. So that's basically how the summer challenge also works. But what we do in the 3 weeks in between, we have a lot more structure, a lot more discipline. We do daily check-ins, weekly check-ins, measurements, all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot more structured to make it a lot tighter. What we also do is we have I don't like calling it a cheat day, but I know that's what people refer to it as. But I like it to be a high calorie day. The Sunday before each fasting challenge, alright, again, understand how the metabolism works, how we speed up the metabolism, running into the next fasting challenge, because we have been, remember, the whole point of these 5-day challenges is you lose potentially the weight loss that you could potentially lose in a month. You lose in 5 days and you chill out for 3 days. Well, during the summer challenge, there's no chilling out. We're still digging deep. So we get on to the next fasting challenge to make sure that the metabolism is revved up. We have that high calorie day. I mean, again, some people call it a cheat day. I don't like the word cheat, because it sounds like you're doing something to cheat yourself, and it's actually not that at all. So what we do is we have a high calorie day on the Sunday. We go on the next fast. 3 weeks really restrictive, nice and tight, good training regime, good supplementation, good fat burning sort of regimen protocol. Then we go on the high calorie day fasting challenge. So that's basically how it works. So use people just doing the fasting challenge, you will see all the 12-week people coming in for the fasting challenges, because we'll run that on this group, because we don't want you ever missing out on the 5-day fasting challenge. That's the whole point of it. All right, so you'll hear me talking and communicating to all of you during the 5 days. Some of the references will be to the people that are on the 12-week challenge. So just realise that I'll be talking to both of you on this group. All right, the people doing just the 5 days, and the people doing the 5 days as part of the 12-week challenge. Does that make sense? So it gets complicated. Only because of the type of supplement regime that we're going to be running, as well as other things as well too, for that long-term burn. All right, so get out of the fast challenge now. Right guys, if there's anybody you want to invite, and remember, when we start this now on the Sunday, we started. There's no more dragging our heels and letting people come in and repeating information. And I need to have a bit more structures, because we were getting lost. Things were getting lost in translation. We bringing people in on the Monday who requested they joined last minute. So if you know anybody that wants to join, I'll post up the link again. Just copy and paste the link, send them the link, or put it up in your Facebook and share it if you want. But let's get as many people into our fasting challenge as possible and really build this community up, because you can see how well this works. Right, again, this is 30 years of my experience and knowledge, but it is also an experiment, because you'll never see anything like this anywhere. So it is good to have as many people on board as possible, see how it works, see how people feel, and help people lose weight, look good and feel great, basically. So let's build up this community a wee bit more. So running into this, again, I'm talking to both people here. I'm going to put up a list of supplements that we want to have now, get into this 5 days and running through the 12 weeks. The supplements, some of them will be incremental. For example, Euhimbine, I'll explain what that is, but that has to start off at a very low dose and increase the dose as you go up. We'll be adding in green tea capsules. We'll be adding in a thing called CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. So we want that long-term sort of fat burning as well too. People on the 5-day challenge, you can also do this, but the things like the Euhimbine really only get more potent as we sort of up the dosage a wee bit, which takes about a week or 2 weeks to actually get up to maximum dose. You couldn't go into maximum dose straight away. You would get too many palpitations. It does affect the heart a wee bit, but it's a fantastic fat burner. So get ready, apple cider vinegar, your shots. Now listen, we're going to have a different protocol here for the hydration. All right, well, not a different one, but we're going to give you a different option. So there's an extra option, and that's a hydration drink. Like, that's what I take every morning. I've mentioned this before, the Naughty Boy one that you can get, and you can get them anywhere, you get them on Amazon, but I'll throw up a couple of links for just a hydration drink. I want you to drink that first thing in the morning. Now the apple cider vinegar, I know I always had in the hydration shot, only because the sodium and the vinegar neutralize the acidity of the apple cider vinegar in order to drink it. The apple cider vinegar is actually a fat mobilizer. It mobilizes fat to be able to be oxidized. Remember, we talked about this the last time. We mobilize fat, which means the fats that store the triglycerides, which is 3 fatty molecules, I guess a glycerol, right? Glycerol molecule with 3 fatty acids, right? Triglyceride, right? So it releases the triglyceride into the system, but then those fatty acids have to be oxidized, which means they're burnt down for fuel or energy. So, for example, if we mobilize fat, we like coffee, green tea, apple cider vinegar, and then we go for a walk. So we've mobilized the fuel source that we want to use, and then we burn that fuel source when we're walking. Now, if you mobilize fat, but you don't go anywhere, it just goes back into this fat storage again, if that makes sense, right? Because you have to do something once you mobilize it. This is why I'm always trying to encourage you to go do your walk in the morning, guys. I want that walk done in the morning. It's a non-negotiable anymore. Right? You're not maximizing results in the 5 days. I want you to absolutely kill this 5 days. I want maximum results every single time. It's only fucking 5 days, right? The rest of the month, they sit in your ass and lie in every morning if you want, but let's maximize these 5 days. So I want you up some sort of fat mobilizer, apple cider vinegar, green tea, black coffee, whatever. That's going to be separate now from your hydration drink, or tequila if you want, because it is mobilizing fat cells, but the sodium is the hydration key, all right? So we can replicate that way a drink. So as soon as we do something like apple cider vinegar or green tea or coffee, we go for a walk. So mobilize the fat, we burn the fat, we come back, we hydrate. As soon as we come back, we get the hydration of this. That will kick us through the whole day and the rest of the fast. We can have 1 or 2 of these a day if we want, right? That'll keep us going, keep us well hydrated until we had our first protein shake. There's also going to be a change to the shake, right? I want more than just protein in it this time. I'm going to give you like a bit of a recipe, stuff to add onto it, right? So we're going to make up a what I call the change shake, and it's going to really help, again, put on all the nutrients that we need. They speed up that metabolism as much as possible. All right, supplementation in the morning, green tea, CLA, again, for mobilization of fat. We need to stay as active as possible in this, guys. I want you walking at least, preferably an hour a morning. We want to burn as much fat as possible. Remember, the more you move, the more fat you burn. I can't emphasize that enough. If we do resistance training, we burn even more, because as well as burning the calories during it, we get the metabolic boost and we get the muscle preservation that we need. All right. So again, if you follow all the instructions on this 5-day challenge, you will get absolutely freaking phenomenal results. Every time there's a bit of it you don't do, it's stuff. It's money left behind. It's stuff that you should be getting, stuff that you should be absolutely utilizing. So the rest of the 5 days or the rest of the sort of the 3 months or 3 weeks and the next month, we can relax more because we've maximized that fat burning. Right? If you want to do it, let's absolutely nail this. Right? 5 days for the people doing the 12 weeks. This is where we kick-started, right? This is the precedence we're going to set now for the next 12 weeks. We will be doing cardio every single morning, Monday to Friday, all right? Even if it's half an hour, you can start back a wee bit less pace, because we're going to be doing this long term, all right? Remember, guys, we've got 2 energy systems. We've got glycogen, carbs, we've got fat, all right? We've got anaerobic, we've got aerobic. So we can burn fat by doing aerobic work, going for walks, going for a cycle, going for a swim, doing stuff like that. But your metabolism will determine how much fat you burn at that time, as well as how much fat is mobilized. But how much fat you're going to burn will be determined on your metabolism. Your resistance training is going to determine your metabolism. So if you have a slow metabolism, your walk or your aerobic work's not going to be not as effective as it could be, right? So if we do 30 minutes resistance training, we are also burning calories at that point, but the biggest benefit we get from it is that metabolic ramp up. We go for a walk with a metabolic rate ramped up, and we're burning maximum body fat. Does that make sense? So you've got your anaerobic and your aerobic systems. We need to work both hand in hand. Going for walks isn't just going to cut it. Doing your weights isn't going to just cut it. Not if we want to absolutely maximize fat burning. All right, we want to burn as much fat as possible. We need a metabolic rate ramped up, and then we need to burn that fat as we move. Does that make sense? The best analogy I can give you here, I'm sorry it's a bit crude, a bit sort of male sort of image if you want, but think about a car, if you understand this. You have a 1 litre engine, right? 1 litre engine, and you turn the key and it burns so much fuel. Then you've got like a 4 litre engine, you turn the key, it's burning 10 times more fuel just idling, because the engine's bigger and requires more energy. So whenever you cruise off on the 4 litre engine, you burn more fuel just putting your foot in the gas than you do in a 1 litre engine. You might travel the same distance, but because of the metabolic stimulus, because it's such a big engine, right? It burns more fuel. That's what happens when we do resistance training. We build our body from a 1 litre engine into a 3-4 litre engine, so the other wee things that we do are more energy burning. We're burning more fat doing them. Does that make sense? All right. So we need to be doing both, guys. Again, use the tools here to maximize this, because it's not just about weight loss, it's about health, it's about longevity, it's about feeling good, it's about looking good, and all those things are available to you if you just get your finger out for 5 days. 5 days a month, that's all I'm asking for you. All right, and I guarantee you the best results ever. But you gotta sit and say to yourself, right, I'm going on this next 5 days. How was my last 5 days? How was last month's? Right. If last month's for some of you was very challenging, because it was the third in a row you done from the start of the year. But we've now had 3 weeks to reset that metabolism, to reset your motivation, to reset everything, so we're ready to rock and roll again. So ask yourself, on the past challenges, have I really, truly maximized what I can do? If the answer is yes, fantastic. I didn't go for walks. I didn't do resistance training, or there's something I could have left behind. I could have done a wee bit more. I went for a 10-minute walk. They'd be right on. If I had to get out of bed 15 minutes early, I could have done a 30-minute walk. All those things are burning more fat, guys. That's the objective here. All right. So why leave anything on the table? Why? I just don't. For me personally, I don't understand that. Someone's giving you the tools to get the results that you want. Remember, you want this. That's why you're here, because you want this. Why would you not implement it? I just don't understand that. That never made sense to me. Right? Why will only half-ass this? Right? What's it costing you? Fuck all, but a bit of time and looking good and feeling great. I mean, I just don't understand why you wouldn't invest everything into just 5 days. I mean, I cannot make this any simpler, any easier, any more effective. But you have to do it. Right, you have to do it. You have to get your head in the game here. You have 5 days, right? Let's psych yourself up. Let's get this done. Let's get the supplements in I need now. Let's get the protein in. Let's get the apple cider vinegar in. I don't care if it's yucky. It's only one bloody shot. Jesus, the moaning and crying people do because of one wee shot apple cider vinegar. Oh, I can't do it. Like, you want to be fat forever, right? Take the fucking shot. Get it down you and just get on with shit, right? Let's maximize this. I think what's wrong with people is you're wusses these days. Where's all the hardcore resilient people that used to have back in the day? 5 weights on your shoulders and cooking and scrubbing clothes with your feet and doing everything that you had to do just to stay alive. Let's get it done, right? Maximize this. I want this. I want this to work for you so bad, right? So let's get it done. Any questions? Let me know.